and welcome to another episode of Subscribe Reviews. I am Dragolf. I'm here joined by Murdoch, and we are reviewing WandaVision Episode 6, the All Halloween Spooktacular.
I've been waiting for this episode
Yeah,
ever
yeah.
since the trailers. I
Yeah.
was like, when's the Halloween episode coming?
Yeah, this is like the big comic book reference episode that we've seen in the trailer. The episode starts with, we see even in the recap. The recap is even showing the other Quicksilver that from the actual Marvel universe getting gunned down. And I didn't think they would ever show him because they went out of the
Yeah.
way to not show him the last couple episodes. So I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, there's still hope. Or something.
Thinking the same thing. I was like, oh, we got Aaron Taylor Johnson still, like in the recap.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah. And then it cuts to the Malcolm in the Middle, which is instead of just being the intro, it's and the heavy theme. It's a good reference for the whole episode because it's like it's cutting away from that marriage life is very romanticized in the old sitcom episodes, and it's more realistic here. You see the tension building.
Definitely.
In
And I
Wanda.
love Malcolm in the Middle, like growing up. So as soon as it started, I got the vibes and the theme song happened, and I was like, oh hell yeah! Like I'm so down for this. Like I feel like I appreciated the last couple episodes from like the different sitcom stuff, but I feel like now that it's like at an era where I'm more familiar with and I watched more of these, I appreciated it even a little bit more because I was like, wow, they like, I don't know. They really just the feel of it and like the absence of a laugh track and stuff. They like really started going like, I don't know, really morphing with it and stuff.
Looking at the camera stuff.
Yeah.
And when he was sleeping, even the camera angles, all that stuff. I was like, oh man. Yeah. Then we see the two kids talk. Oh yeah, even in the theme itself, we see bumping into Agnes, the camera. The naughty. I was like, oh, see, she's part of the credits now. And then Quicksilver as himself when everyone else is just their names. I'm like, oh,
yeah, that was
trying
definitely
to really tell us it's him, huh? So,
This is Quicksilver now.
This is Quicksilver. Yeah. Please believe us.
All right, Marvel.
and yeah, when he's sleeping, they even reference him to being a vampire. So they kind of already know the two kids are already tell that it might not even be his real uncle, their real uncle. Yeah.
And I like the route that they're going with him as like the cool uncle, like kind of feel, and like him being thrown into the equation like creates some like tension with the family and like with the kids like wanting to hang out with him and stuff. I just thought it was a really cool route because in the X-Men movies, Evan Peters was like the more like cool kid that was just always like eating junk food and drinking soda and like just playing video games and stuff. So it's cool to see that like even that same personality stuck with him introducing into the MCU as opposed to them just like trying to make a brand new Quicksilver.
Yeah. Yeah, it shows that the MCU doesn't care only about themselves. They also care about the source material from the Fox movies. We also see, Scarlet Witch in her Scarlet Witch, and I like the nod there, like, oh, I'm a Sokovian fortune teller. I was like,
yeah. Like, are they gonna like explain like, I'm the Scarlet Witch? Like, are we gonna hear?
Yeah, are we finally gonna? Yeah, when are we gonna hear? Yeah, not a lot of lines are wasted this episode. We see Vision in his costume, and then he tells him, "Oh, I'm on the neighborhood watch." I didn't tell you. Like, oh, all right. And then we see Quicksilver come in his, and then the kid copying him because they have the same powers, and he's looking up to him. And I'm like, oh.
It was super cool to see the Wiccan's outfit too. That one looked real good. I mean, it was real simple, but like like just like seeing the kids in their outfits, like it was just like a cool little nod already. Like, oh wow, we're here already. We're seeing them in some sort of costume like from the get.
Yeah, I'm ready for the Young Avengers.
Yeah, definitely gonna be building up to that.
Yeah, what I'm starting to think, or from what we've seen, is like there's there's like multiple villains, like Agatha, whoever this Quicksilver is, even Hayward from Sword, because
Mhm.
he's tracking Vision from outside the hex, which we didn't know was possible until this
Yeah,
episode.
and
And
he has something else up the sleeve that
mhm,
that was a little seed planting for the next couple
yeah,
episodes. So
yeah,
there's definitely multiple threats. Upon the Scarlet Witch herself, she's also like kind of like a villain in
yeah,
a way, just like, or at least like a threat, you know, where they
hmm
have to like cool down the tension to get themselves out of the situation. So
yeah.
it
It's
seems
pretty
to be
interesting.
opening up a lot more, which is
Yeah.
cool.
And they could end up still all be working for one person, or it's pretty like there's so many answers that we got, and then there's so many questions. Just like every other episode so far, keep on
Yep.
coming up.
And we got three more left, so I have a feeling we're just gonna start.
Yeah, and then the interesting like interactions with Quicksilver and Wanda when he's like gaslighting us. Do you remember that time when we did the costume Halloween in Sokovia, and then it flashback and Wanda's like, I don't remember it like that. I was like, oh,
Yeah. It got
that,
me like, it's like, so is this like the actual Quicksilver from the X-Men universe that just like literally has different memories because he's like a different person? Or is
mhm,
this like, or is he trying to create memories to like build some sort of trust with Wanda? Because I know that was the big question of just like, is this even like actually Quicksilver, or is this like some sort of like red
yeah,
herring that's gonna be another threat? But like, I feel like this episode got me more on the fence of that him actually possibly being Quicksilver himself and just like literally just having like a different past and different memories and like a
yeah,
different attitude, which Wanda like doesn't seem to be very fond of at all.
yeah,
So I feel like I don't know. It's kind of a weird thing where it's just like, is he like lying to her? Or is he like telling his own like personal truth that's just like a
hmm
different experience because he's not the same Pietro?
yeah. It put me on the fence as well, but until like that moment where he's talking to her, I was like, I'm not your husband. Uh, I'm not some guy. I'm your. And then he paused. It doesn't say brother. He
Hmm.
said, you could trust. You could talk to me.
True.
I'm
True.
like,
True.
oh. I was like, oh no. Now you thrown. Now I'm starting to. You were starting to win me over. Now you're kind of losing me.
Yeah. Also, a nice little Easter egg in their interaction. I like paused and rewound it
hmm
when Evan Peters and the kid, and then Wanda, all three of them said the word kick ass.
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
was like, whoa, like they did it. Like
yeah, yeah, yeah. They
um,
referenced it.
Evan Peters and
I-
Aaron Taylor Johnson being in Kick Ass.
yeah,
I was like, I had to like pause, like if I didn't
I
like
was like.
accidentally hear that. I was like, oh snap, that's so cool. Like,
I didn't interject that hearing of myself. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was watching with someone, and then they're like, I didn't even hear it the first time, and then she was like, "Oh, kick ass." I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, yeah." Wanda repeated it herself, right? Too.
yeah.
I was like, "Oh man, they really trying to make us." Yeah, this episode was definitely more subtle, but I like that every line gave you the is he or isn't he or a lot of tension from it. So I'm like, oh man. And it's like the first two episodes where it's like a good balance between humor and that scary vibe for
Yeah, and we got a lot of that more towards, I guess, the back end of the episode with
mhm.
the more creepy vibe. So, which is always the parts that I'm looking forward to. I'm like,
Yeah,
let's see some stuff get weird.
yeah. Yeah, and then a trio they get kicked out of Sword, uh,
Yeah,
and then yeah, they find out she finds out her blood. She actually finds out her blood is uh being like it is messing up. Darcy finds out for her Photon, soon to be Photon, hopefully. And then you could see her like she doesn't want to look at cells because it reminds her of cancer, which is still basically 2-3 weeks away from like learning that.
yeah,
Yeah, we even forgot to talk about the commercial
Oh my god, that was so dark.
Yeah, that was so dark. It's a kid dying there. I was like,
Yeah.
Disney, hello. But like, you wouldn't trust the shark, right? And he said, yo, magic. I'm like, it's a Danimals commercial, but that's what I thought of it. But I was like, wait, there's a lot of foreshadowing into this. So like,
Yeah, is it like Mephisto like offering the power of magic, and then
yeah,
like
it's like,
like
yeah, the only way you can save yourself is with the old magic. I'm like, all right. It's like, all right. There's so
yeah, this
much.
one was definitely
Yeah,
the most unsettling, but it was
yeah,
also so cool because
so
like
good.
the
Yeah.
animation like looked straight up like one of those 90s or 2000s commercials with the
Mhm.
claymation and stuff.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
this is great.
I was like, how much of the budget went into
Facts.
that? Yeah. But
If the origin that we're getting for Photon is that like going in and out of the hex and just like Scarlet Witch's powers is like giving her powers, then that like kind of just like opens the whole realm of like, is this like how mutants are gonna start? Like, because like if she's getting powers, like how many other people are possibly
yeah.
getting powers from like being stuck in there for like weeks at this point? So it's
Yeah.
kind of like when, because I didn't know, I knew that we were going towards Photon at some point, but I didn't know how. And now that it's like been stated that like it's because of Scarlet Witch, it's just like
Oh, man.
all these people could have powers by the end of this show. Like, what's the next move? So
Yeah. Yeah. Mutant started at New Jersey.
yeah, exactly.
No.
Home of the
The Hex expansion when she got mad. Well, Vision tried to get out, and
yeah.
then his son sensed that he was in danger, and the stone on his head, that was the last. It was not coming off when he was trying to get out. That was the last thing that was trying to come off. So I'm like, so is it there? Is it there now? Is that real now? And he was falling apart like crazy.
Yeah, that was like, it almost looked like the snap in a way, like when they
Yeah.
start like just like
Yeah,
coming apart.
yeah,
Like,
true.
so that was a real tense scene. Just like, we
Yeah.
gotta watch Vision die again. Like,
Yeah.
poor guy.
The poor guy, how many times? Yeah. And then I didn't see it like when she saw him as a corpse. It wasn't that. It wasn't the same way when he left the hex. I'm like, so was that just how she saw him? Just like how she saw her brother that was dead
Yeah, we got the
earlier?
Pietro corpse in this
Yeah.
episode too, which was another thing where I was just like, all right, and this is raising a lot of questions. Like
Yeah.
you said, is this in her head, or is this like,
Yeah.
or is this actually like a dead body that like it's a different person but went through the same
The
experience?
whole,
Like,
yeah. Yeah, because that's like, I mean, the dumb part of me is like, oh, he should be decomposed to hell right now by now.
yeah, for years.
But yeah, I give this episode, I'll give it a 9. 'Cause it is subtle. I could see that people might not like it, but that's why I like the first 2 episodes. It's like very give you a little, but it just it makes my brain go crazy type
Yeah,
of thing.
I'm in the same boat because I think the last 2 episodes gave us a lot, and this episode, I mean, just like seeing Evan Peters Quicksilver like for an
Mhm.
extended period of time, and like seeing his character and the relationship, and Malcolm in the Middle, and the whole ending with the hex, and
Yeah.
we even mentioned it when Vision's like seeing all the people like frozen, and like they're
Oh,
talking
yeah.
about like Quicksilver is like talking about like, so like, how are you pulling this off? Like, what's up with the kids? What are they all
Oh,
sleeping
yeah.
before and stuff? Like,
That talk was crazy.
yeah, it got like it, it was back on the path of like you were saying, like the first 2 episodes, like asking a lot more questions, but I feel like this time we have more answers, so the questions are more specific,
Mhm.
and I like that. Like, it's like really like seems like we're really, I mean, we got 3 episodes left. It seems like we're really racing towards the finish line at this point to start wrapping up
Yeah.
the loose ends. And like, I really enjoyed this episode a lot, and just seeing the costumes was
Yeah.
super dope.
Yeah.
So
The
I'm gonna get,
powers. Yeah, the
yeah,
powers too.
I'm
And
gonna give it a 9 as well.
mhm. And
It's
that,
I'm
yeah.
enjoying this a lot. And
I
it was just like the first episode. Well, I guess what Evan Peters showed up at the last episode, but at the end of this episode, when it like ended, I was like, what? Like,
yeah. When it just
yeah. And
ending
this was
with her.
probably
Yeah.
the earliest that I've seen the show so far, where the other days I would watch it like more towards the later end of the day.
Oh.
Today, like as soon as I was up making my coffee, I was like, "Yo, let's do this," and I feel like it's gonna be like that from now on. So it's really like reeling me in now.
Yeah. Thank you for watching this video. We are Subscribed Reviews. We're on Camp Now's YouTube page. I'm Dragolf, and this is Murdoch, and we'll see you next week for another review. Peace.